all the girls can take off all their clothes. And you could see everyone's panties. Yes, even the boys had panties. The reason that boys don't have panties, that is called an underpenny. The other day, I saw Papa's underpenny. I did. He was blowing out the wheel of a car like this, and I saw his underpenny. It was blue. It was so funny. It's so nice. It's like the ice that you get from the back of a deep freeze with a spoon. Then we look. It's a rainbow. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. My bags are packed, I'm ready now to go. Who knows what we will find? Let's go to the rainbow. Let's go. Okay. Tea and turkey. When I move Timo, Timo kawe na. Touch, 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 tea and turkey. When I Montimo, Riboca, oh Montimo, Riboca, when I Morimo, Riboca, when It's okay, the ends are given. Everything is done by you, Lord. We praise you. Lord, you know I've never asked you for much. Please, please keep my sister safe. I read the Bible every night and I pray every night and I feel like you really hear me. It's actually crazy, like the time I lost Ntate's watch and I prayed and I fasted and I found it. Miraculously. It's this feeling. I feel heard. It's okay. The ends are given. Everything is done by you, Lord. We praise you. Lord, you know I've never asked you for much. Please, please keep my sister safe. She's going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst sinners, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. one time. I haven't seen Mama the whole week. She has to sit on this mattress with candles all around her. And all these people who come and cry all day. And when they stop crying, they start singing. When they stop singing, they start crying. Mama doesn't cry at all. She just sits there. You know how Mam Man is really bad at singing and Mam Kulu is really good, so she gets to start all the songs? The other day, Mam Kulu got up to make some tea, so Mam Man saw her opportunity. She was like, "Ah, gitu lah, gitu." I think I saw Mama laughing. She put her duke over her mouth and she was laughing. That's so funny. When it's too hot to be in lectures, driving down the garden route and seeing those magnificent mountains and knowing I'm home. Oh, walks down Long Street with so many shops and restaurants and galleries to see, and the food in Cape Town, oh my God, and the wine, I'm old Chardonnay. Cape Town's like a designer dream. For people like us, because you guys are my friends and you're all like mixed races, some are international, but we all get on and relate, because we've all bought shares in this new South Africa. But don't you sometimes feel like we're part of a culture that's just selling that all as well? I mean, you read the headlines about the murders of Somalians. Africans killing each other, it's ridiculous, hey? Xenophobia. I mean, we've got race, class issues, HIV, that can keep us hating each other for centuries to come. It's a fear what we don't understand mentality. Seriously, because me too, I really want to be part of the whole African Renaissance, but I can't be proudly African too loudly because I'm not exactly from here. So I don't want to be teased that I'm a Magray, you know what I mean? We actually grew up in Botswana, and my sister and I would have to read the Bible every single night. Oh my God, I know, but I actually love the mythical stories and the poetry of faraway lands. The only problem was that our grandfather insisted that we have to read the Bible in Setswana. Oh, you should have seen my cousins laughing at my sister and I as we're stumbling through the Setswana words. Actually, that's when I began hating my father tongue. I mean, it's easy to get stuck in an English accent and lost meaning. This one time, I marched up to my Mangono and I was like, I want to study French instead of Setswana. She simply laughed at me and handed me my Setswana homework. But then on the other hand, I remember secret trips to the village where men and women gathered and acknowledged my grandfather as he entered. And I was always puzzled at these meetings of chiefs and kings, and I was like, what are they saying in this lyrical language I was losing sense of? Slowly, with the heat as my blanket, I'd start to doze off. And that they would catch me just before I slumped to the ground. Sit up tall like a tree, you're a Bakwena princess. I think I've known since then that there's something very special about me. You know the ones that they saw? Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm an African. So African, I have bloodlines Okay, jokes. But this friend of mine, right, she said that I have the pride and nature of a Luo woman. And then she told me that my name means far in Swahili. And that made me feel funny because that's exactly how I feel. Like, I'm constantly being like, where should I say I'm from to who to be more African? I'm like, bonjour, ça va, to parking guards. These are doctors and dentists who are working the streets because they can't get back to the DRC. And then I have a friend from Mbali on my Facebook profile. Oh, and I make a point to learn Kazomba. It's a girl in style. I'm VIP at all the Mozambican parties, and I engage in this fierce debate about third world poverty. Meanwhile, the thought that always crosses my mind is, would I actually date a guy from Nigeria? That's xenophobic, hey? I'm like African, not African, you know, condemning instead of celebrating my diversity. I'm like the Hutu calling myself Tutsi in conflict with this heritage. God, I'm gonna stop. You know what? I am an African. It's just a euphemism for black anyway. Drop, 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 drop. My heart thumps to the rhythm of the rain. No pattern, just rain. No warning, just rain. A pathetic, unexpected visit. This is London. You know, the smell of the underground, like wet sand from fresh rains, reminds me of growing up as a young girl. Dumi and I used to wait for the stories that they would tell us. My favorite one was about the beautiful goddess of love. It was said that her beauty could make the birds blend into a chorus of heart-wrenching harmonies in praise of her. Every afternoon, the goddess would go by the river to prepare her food. The he-god would watch her from behind the trees, enticed by the delicious smells and the vision of the goddess's beauty. He soon fell deeply in love with her. The only problem was, he was already bound to another. One evening, as the goddess was preparing her food, she saw the he-god behind the trees and invited him to come and share her food with her. That night, the he-god went home to his wife, his belly swollen with exotic tastes and senses of the goddess of love's cooking. After a few nights of untouched dinners and spoiled food, the he-god's wife went to go and seek the goddess of love for advice. Yamana, what is the secret to your cooking? Do you really want to know? Yes, Ben, yeah. What spice do you use, huh? Is it North, huh? Is it Raja? No, well, I cut off little pieces of my ear and I put it in the soup. Really? In the light of the night sky, the wife peered into the tripod, bubbling on hot coals beside her. She saw mushroom-looking vegetables and was convinced. That night, the he-god went home for dinner because his wife had promised him the most amazing meal of his entire existence. What is this? It's pieces of my ear! The he-god was horrified at his deformed wife and escaped to go and seek out the goddess of love. The wife's anger was so fierce that she turned the goddess of love into a river. And then she cried for weeks and months and years until she turned herself into an ocean. Until today, where the ocean meets the river is the most turbulent of all. Tos tos, yape. The first time that I heard the story, I was furious. I looked up at Tate. Tate, I love love, but it doesn't sound very nice. Then it is better for you to close your eyes when love passes you by. To love with your whole heart is to learn to forgive. and to forgive the deepest pains of the world is what you will learn as a princess. And true to God, the next day I was playing in the garden, watching the bees that love to hop from one sweet flower to the next, when suddenly a butterfly fluttered past. Mesmerized by its colors, I followed the butterfly, scattering the bees, and one came back and stung my sweet skin in bitterness. Tears flooded my 6-year-old eyes, but soon I smiled at the bee that just wanted my attention. I forgive you, I said. Where's that 6-year-old now? That loving, fearless, forgiving 6-year-old? Tonight's my final night, and I have to make decisions, and I have to make them quick. I'm constantly in fear of my boss. I never know when I'm right or wrong, and I'm miserable. In fact, please could you pull a card for me? Okay. Thank you. Extravagance? That has nothing to do with my situation. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Okay, I've been feeling this overwhelming need to leave this company. Even though it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm living every writer's dream. Oh God, what time is it? Oh, I can't be late. How do I look? Lovely. Thank you. Oh, I'm overdressed as usual. Oh God, here she comes. You're looking gorgeous, babe, as she whispers, bitch, 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 behind my back. Oh, I didn't get lost for a while. This will do. It'll get me tipsy, and sobriety is not an option for me, especially tonight. Am I being ridiculous? I mean, it was just 2 days ago that the red carpet was stretched out in front of me, brightly lit by cameras flashing. I remember getting out of the cab a bit shaky on my plum stilettos with a metallic to kill the heel. Oh, but the showstopper's outfit? My purple Prada clutch bag. The color of the amethyst, my birthstone, and tonight a star was born as I stepped out confidently towards the paparazzi. And the cab driver shouts, "Sorry, wrong entrance, get back in now, gotta go round." What? I mean, this is my big moment on the red carpet, and those on the wrong red carpet? Those were the magazine awards, when Matt Damon and Brad Pitt were leaving as I was entering, in fact. Right. Imagine I'd stepped out there all smiling and confident, and the camera stopped flashing like, should we know her? The right red carpet seemed like a rug in comparison, but it still meant a lot to me. You know, this is the first acknowledgement of my hard work. I'll never forget the feeling of hearing my name. I forgave him for stumbling over my surname, because soon after that he announced that we won, and I was like, oh my God, we won! We won. And after the excitement of winning had settled in, I remembered how miserable I've been. Oh God, don't look now, but there he is. The God that has governed me in my misery over the past year. Is he looking at me? Or am I looking at him? Is he looking at me? Oh, perhaps he didn't see me. You know, he has the power to make me feel invisible, and with a simple acknowledgement, I feel so powerful. In fact, that's what I want. I don't want the praise to just come from an award. I want it to come from him. I want him to say it, and then I'll know it's true. I mean, look at him. He's the prince on his throne with his selected subjects clustered around him. I used to be one of them. I want to be one of them. You try being on the other side for as long as I have, and you also want to get back on the right side. In fact, that's what I need to do. I need to swallow my pride, switch on my schmoozing shoes, and get back on the right side. Even if I have to leave mine behind. Okay. So my doctor says I should write letters to you, even though it's stupid. I hate my family. They're so dysfunctional. September came today, looking all morose like someone has that. I don't know what I want him to say to me. I'm sorry I killed your sister. We were racing and I think we went a bit too fast. He didn't even have a scratch on his knee. I'm sick of writing letters to a person who can't even hear me. No one hears me. It's okay. The ends make it away. Everything is done by you, Lord. We praise you. Praise you for what? You had the power to save her and you didn't. Why? Why did you have to take her away from me? She was only 17. She was going to study IT and I hate you. I hate you. I hate you! I will never, ever speak or eat or pray ever again. That's what they say, dibs. I don't care if I don't have any new friends because I have Tomi and all my friends back home in Botswana. Mama says I get lots of new friends because I'm so nice. I don't want new friends. You know what I hate? No, you know what I love? I love it in the morning when Gogo makes the white porridge and then she puts the butter on it and it melts. Oh, it's so nice. And then you know what happens? Gogo always puts a little bit of porridge on her apron and then Thomas says, oh no, Gogo spilled some porridge on her apron with the flowers. And then you know what happens after that? We go outside to the magic bath. Yes, my Gogo has it. You put water in it like this and then you go like this. Like a swimming pool. We don't have a swimming pool back home in Botswana because we never ever waste water. Papa puts the sour like this, and then I saw, and then Tumi saw, we never waste water. You know what I don't like? You know my uncles, when they go to Undertown and they come like this? The other day, my uncle Barney, the sleepy eyes, he went like this to the table. You should have seen Tumi, she was so scared, she was so scared. You know my uncle, the one with the sleepy eyes? The other day he said I must go to his room outside and I didn't want to go because it was so nice, the magic bath. But Mama says he mustn't be rude. So then I went outside to his room and then he went like this to the door. And it was so dark. And the music was so loud, but I could see his sleepy eyes. And then he put in my hand on his tummy like this and he was going like this. I was so scared. I was so happy when Gogo called me. And then he washed my hands with a stinky wash like, but it was the 10 times more. He said I mustn't say it to you, but he didn't make me pinky promise. When Tumi says something I mustn't say to you, she makes me pinky promise. Like the time we ran away from home, and then we ran back, and the time she put chewing gum in Mama's hair. She made me pinky promise. When Mama comes, I'm going to say, I want to speak to Papa now! But she says he's going to come visit us soon. You know, I told you, it's this fear, okay? This fear when we don't understand mentality. No, seriously, because people here are always asking me, no, babe, seriously, where are you from? I'm like, my mom is Zulu born, went into exile, married my dad, and was on a man. 11 years and 3 years later, they got divorced. We came back to South Africa, got passports, and had to transform. But I don't have issues of identity. I mean, they're blessings of diversity, interesting stories, and poetic childhood memories. We grew up catching raindrops in orange plastic jugs. Our tiny feet would thump heavily on the ground in the raindrops. And then after that, we'd sit under the marula tree and that would tell us stories. I actually had a dream about this the other night. Mbali was telling us one of these stories, the one about Olerato, the fearless daughter of the sun and moon. Every afternoon, the sun would bend down to play catches with her. And catch, and catch, and throw. Catch, and throw. Olerato would laugh and play, chasing and catching his bouncing sunlight, until his arms felt tired and he went bright red in the face. And that's when Olerato knew it was her father's time to go and leave her in the dusty shrouds of the creeping night. But Olerato wasn't scared. Fearless, she'd wait by the river for Mama Moon to come tell her the story. One evening, as she was waiting by the river, playing with her reflection, challenging it to elaborate dances which it would mirror back to her twice as fast and far more flamboyant, her reflection turned into the Prince of Fear. Do you want to come to the bottom with me? No, Olerato replied. Yes, but have you been to the bottom before? No, but Mama Moon will be back soon. Hold my hand. We'll be back before night. The Prince of Fear held her hand as they sped down to the bottom of the river. As the river got deeper and darker, Olerato began to feel sensations she'd never felt before. She was afraid. She tried to scream, but her voice just babbled in the water. When they got to the bottom of the riverbed, the Prince of Fear took the most beautiful necklace of shells. This was the chain of fear. He placed it around Olerato's tiny little waist. She tried to kick her stumpy legs as fast as she could, but the prince caught up with her, and she let her tears blend into the river. When she got to the top, coughing and panting, she ran to shower herself with leaves. Mama Moon came, showering her with her soft light, but Olerato turned away. Too ashamed to look at Mama Moon, too confused as to what she would say, she wanted Mama Moon to go away and leave her alone. The next day, the sun didn't come out to play. It was only when Olerato saw the twinkling stars run home after their all-night disco that she realized that Mama Moon was not coming this night either. Nor the next, nor the next, nor the next. After a few nights of no sun and no moon, Olerato swallowed her fear and marched to the ends of the earth in search of Mama Moon. There she found her, crying tears of rain upon the earth. Oh, Olerato. Mama Moon, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Olerato, the Prince of Fear arrived and demanded your hand in marriage. Never! No! Yes, Olerato. The son too refused, but the prince challenged him to put you through a fair trial, where if you failed, he would win your hand in marriage. The son still refused, so the Prince of Fear cursed him with the fear of rising instead. Olerato, even my light in the night sky will not stop the trees and flowers and animals from dying. Then let me take the test, Mama Moon. It is the only way to save the sun. Yes, it is the only way. Go deep into the mountains, my child. There you will fast for 108 days and nights. Nothing can pass your lips in this time, Olerato, not even a sound. On the final day, a feast will be waiting for you, and so will I. Go well, my child, and if you feel lost, remember me. And so, Olerato made her way towards the mountains, armed with her love for the sun. But would love be powerful enough when face to face with fear? And in the dream, that's where the story ends. And that it turns to me. Is love powerful enough when face to face with fear? What is that supposed to mean? It means I need a drink. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he held my hands, and his were soft and chubby, and mine were young and eager to please, and Holding my hands, he was struggling to focus a bit because his eyes were a bit blurry from too much beer. It'd be too dangerous to dance with you. And I'm like, dangerous? Yes, you know what I mean. We have to be truthful here. It'd be too dangerous to dance with you, to be with you. And I'm still like, what do you mean? Is this the part about what a wonderful right I am? Then he says, I know that you're always in competition with my wife. I am not in competition with his wife. I do not like his wife. I will not suck up to his wife. I do not respect his wife, but by God, I'm not in competition with her. Well, there was one time I almost pushed her out of the way when I was introducing myself to Ian McKellen. I'm not in competition with her, but if there was, I would win. You're in competition with her, and it makes it very difficult for me because I'm in love with you. Yes, he confessed that he's in love with me, and then he starts convincing me that I am in love with him. I'm just in denial. And I looked at his rosy cheeks like stuffed chickens, and I find it hard to believe. Is that why you never say hi to me, or look at me, or notice me? And even when I asked this, it came out in the childlike voice that was feeding it. The child looking to replace her father. The child who grew into the woman who never loved herself enough. You know, and that's when I think, this is it. This is my escape. Maybe I should go away, take a break or something. Don't be ridiculous. His calm, controlling self, restored like the shedded skin of a snake. I've just cast you as the lead in my next international hit. That's when I had to come outside. I mean, how do I stay, knowing what I now know, but how do I leave? He's just offered me the opportunity of a lifetime. I would play the lead. And how did the young, outspoken girl end up stuck here? I can't leave, I can't stay, and I mean, I can't disappoint him. This is the man that told me everything I know. This is the man who told me change for the better you only have now when no one else could. Yes, this is the man who puts the fear of God in me, but he's just offered me the opportunity of a lifetime. I would play the lead. I owe him, and he knows it. WWHBD. What would higher being do? My higher being would have very eloquently said at the beginning of his suggestive conversation, okay, can we just clarify something here? I'd say, she'd say in an American accent. For some reason, my inner voice has an American twang. I am in awe of your power. In fact, I fear it. But I am not, and I repeat, not attracted to you, emotionally, sexually, or physically. I'm not really a fan of the manipulative, stick with me and I'll make you rich, but I'll control who you see and speak to, because I inherently think black people are stupid type. And also honored, consider this my official notice of resignation. And the crowd roars. I am her. I would have said those things, but my higher being was quiet that day. Suppressed, exhausted, maybe angry at my talking self. Oh, fucking Cape Town. Fucking Cape Town. I'm leaving you, I'm leaving you. Fucking Cape Town, it's time to. Fucking Cape Town. You should have seen the way she looked at me. Like I was a holic, you know, frolicking in my own possibilities, you know, like I was an alcoholic, workaholic, bourgeois black-aholic. I mean, it's sick. I'm manic, frantic, trying not to get into politics, but confronting the fact that I'm black and privileged. I'm not trying to cross back over the burnt bridge to the township, but I'm feeling frustrated of this racist Cape Town person who's a minority in color, but the majority is what determines the way I should be. And yes, I'm still a jumping monkey, searching to be worthy of an acknowledgement beyond my golden skin or the rush of my Gucci set. Do you know how much money I've spent in an attempt to be accepted? You know, trying to buy back the respect I lose when I walk into an all-white restaurant. What is this skin that carries a history that I didn't choose, that makes me feel lesser than. It's only neutralized by the price tag on my shoes when I walk and speak and talk like them. Shit, I'm so tired of being different. And it must be reverse psychology because I'm turning myself into a racist. I never ever speak vernacular, and I never go to where all the blacks are because, oh my God, I'll have to watch my bag. And not only that, I'll be blasted with comments of, oh, Yakumsha, she's a cheese girl, coconut, not one of us. So I go get drunk on the other side of town, dancing to music that has no rhythm, being like, oh God, I love this song, hiding the truth that I don't fit in. And the only man that'll ever approach me is some old European trying to live out some darkest African fantasy. It's so subtle, you know? It's being told that there's no table available. But when Susan goes to ask, it suddenly opens up. Or the bouncer whispering to me, sorry Sissy, it's not about you, it's my quota. I've reached the maximum amount of blacks allowed. Should have seen the way she looked at me. I felt ashamed. When I should be the one who's getting the apology. Yes, for apartheid, for my parents' generation jailed. God, let's take it back to slavery. I should be walking tall after 16 years of democracy. Fucking Cape Town. Fucking Cape Town. I'm leaving you. Fucking Cape Town. There's nothing to fucking Cape Town. You're not my home. It's always one suffering following another. Laden with racism and fear. I'm going to Joburg, the land of the BEEs, where the brothers with cheese and the sisters with weaves. In Joburg, yes, I'll find a home. 'Cause in Joburg, black people drive Ferraris, and they come in the plenty. I can make lots of money. In Joburg, I'll find a home. Oh, I learned to move, I learned to do the boomba. I'll change my bird from Hannibal to Zumba. 'Cause in Joburg, I'll find a home. Look! Papa holding a Matchett to the front like this, and Gosi, my uncle's holding it in the back. And me, I can't reach, it's too high. Papa, I told him at school that I'm a princess, like you told me, that that's the king of our whole village. Papa, I didn't even say to you, Papa's here to visit today. Oh, when I saw him, I had so many stories to say to him, like about my new friends. That's so nice. They always play Nancy Drew, and they always let me play Nancy. And then we go searching through the grass for clues. And the other day, you'll be amazed. We found a huge snail under the leaves, and it was a clue. Who had left the snail there? Did the snail have a trail? Did the snail have a trail? It's so nice. Mama says this is our new home. Do you like it? Smells like stinky washcloths. You know, when I saw Papa, he looked sad in the eyes. I know what is sad. You can see in the eyes, but I'm not sad. Look. Do you remember when Mama said she's going to leave Papa? Nah, like, leave him. I didn't mean it. You know what? I'm going to turn the rain around into something positive, into something refreshing, into something that comes, something vibrating. It's Queen. Hello? Queen here. I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen to me very carefully. This time I'm talking, but next time I'll get physical. Stay the hell away from him. I've been watching you, and last night was the final straw. Who the hell does she think she is? Why would she think I'd want him anyway? And you're under a huge misconception. I'm deliberately using a big word to bring her insecurities to surface. This time I didn't actually do anything, and it's still my fault. I can't go back. I can't go back to the beginning. I can't go back to this company. Closure. Oh my God. That's what I need to do. I need to just move on, and perhaps the grey skies of London are telling me something, you know? Giving me an opportunity to start afresh. I'm an award-winning writer after all. Why can't I just rewrite my life?
Hurry up! No, the camera's on. Okay. Hello. Okay, so she's getting ready to go to the matric dance with a boy she doesn't even like anyway, but I helped her choose her outfit because I'm actually a stylist. I chose a white dress with feather fur trimming. Oh, she looks like an angel. Okay, anyway, so she's going with this boy called Temba, and he is so ugly. No, he is, but he's the most popular boy at school. Okay, and I was supposed to go with a friend of hers, but he hasn't called. So I'm all dressed up and nowhere to go. But I'm going to the after party because Mama said yes. So the plan is that we're going to drive behind them because they're taking my mother's car. Okay, so then we're just going to say goodbye, and then she's gonna call me for the after party. Okay, her curls fell because of the steam in the bath, so I have to go help because I'm a stylist. See you at the after party.
Apparently they were racing. I mean, how do you race a Mercedes and a Toyota? But Temba does these stupid things all the time. They were going too fast, and when the car turned, it cut her deep in the head. She used to love labels. Even her underwear was diesel. The only time I ever saw her angry was when I lost her brand new pair of Nike sneakers. She was so mad, she just walked away from me. I was gonna buy her a new pair. I heard the phone ringing that night, but I didn't want to go to the after party. But maybe if I'd been there, then they wouldn't have been racing. And maybe if I'd been there, then... Olorato's heart was so strong. She made it through 100 days of the test. But the last few days became very, very difficult. Olorato crept towards a fountain just to smell the sweet waters, to remember what they tasted like. Suddenly, her reflection turned into the Prince of Fear. Come into my waters, Olorato. Drink from my fountain. Be cleansed again. Be beautiful once again. Olorato tried to strangle him with her bare hands. She had taken his stupid test. She had said no to him over and over again, but still, he wouldn't leave her alone. She wanted to scream, I want you to go away, far away, where you can never ever touch me again. But reminded herself of her vow of silence. Closing her eyes, she remembered Mama Moon. It took everything in Olorato's being to stare the prince in the face and think, you do not scare me. I forgive you. Olorato's thoughts were so powerful that the chain of fear split into a million pieces, and the Prince of Fear disappeared, never ever to be seen again. Olorato waited for the sun and the moon and the feast she had been promised. Olorato waited and waited and waited. She started to believe the sun and the moon would never come and get her. How could the sun, who controlled all life, and the moon, who controlled all tides, not have the power to save her? Perhaps it was better to be with the Prince of Fear than to be with no one at all. She cupped her hands with water, put it to her lips to drink, but stopped herself. I'll give them one more day, she vowed. The next day, the sun stood over Olerato. Stand up, my child, you've passed the test. He took 4 of his golden rings and placed them on her head, crowning her the goddess. No, I'm not worthy. I doubted you. I doubted myself. Mama Moon came towards Olerato. Olerato, the biggest lesson you have to learn is to forgive yourself. And so, Olerato was proud, the little goddess of love. Dos dos, yape. My story doesn't have to trap me, terrorizing my sleep. I can use its threads to knit something new, something somewhere between dreams and truth. A life where I don't have to constantly fight your presence. I am ready, ready like a pregnant belly, a ripe fruit heavy to fall off the storm-filled tree of life. Bursting open, I claim all of you. I can't turn back, my luggage is packed. I'm ready to let go. I am here, present, awake. I am power, singing the song of my soul, a celebration. I'd like to invite you to follow me outside, where we will do a ritual of burning the baggage that you've been holding on to, and letting it go. So please follow me outside.